In this episode, we are going to continue with the MAF sensor, with the mass airflow sensor. Mass airflow sensor. Where is located that sensor? That sensor is located in between the TBI and the filter box. That plastic case where the filter is located and the throttle valve. In that pipe, normally it's a plastic pipe, the sensor is located over there. And now we are going to analyze the signal. The output signal is 0.7 volts DC when the engine is in idle. Once again, this one is with the engine running. You need disconnect the plug, put the tool, if you fabricate the tool, the adapter, or keep the plug connected, introduce a couple of needles and connect with alligator's cable your multimeter set in volts DC. How much should be the voltage? 0.7 if the engine is running in idle, or around 4.5 volts if the engine is running at wide open throttle. Manifold absolute pressure sensor. Where is located? Once again, in the intake manifold. And that sensor registers vacuum all the time. That sensor is very important in diesel engines, you remember? Because that sensor is brother with the solenoid connected with the wastegate on the turbo. Oh, yeah, and with the wastegate you calibrate the idle and the wide open throttle for turbo diesel engines. But in gasoline engine is also critical, the MAF sensor, because according with the negative vacuum pressure on the MAF sensor, the rest of the parameters are calibrated. The throttle position sensor, everything is calibrated according with the negative pressure on the intake manifold. Okay, we are going to continue with other critical sensor, the knock sensor. The knock sensor, knocking. Where is located the knock sensor? Normally in a typical engine you have two knock sensors. One knock sensor in the bottom in front of the crankshaft, and other knock sensor on top in front of the camshaft or on the valve train. Yeah, depending on the engine, there are more than one knock sensor. And be careful in marine applications, because probably the knocking is coming not on the engine, it's coming from the transmission. Because you have problems on the bell housing with the flesh plate, or because you have problems on the transmissions, because the gears are broken, because somebody touched the propeller with the sand and destroyed the propeller, the blades of the propeller, and destroyed the bearings on the transmission, and that noise entered in the engine and the knock sensor registered that inconvenience. Okay, right? And the cause for knocking: excessive advance on the timing. For that reason, I explained before in other chapter the procedure to calibrate the timing. And always move your distributor according with the manufacturer recommendation. Never try to advance more than the recommended time. Or probably you have too much load. You remember how can you get too much load? Probably the pitch of the propeller is not appropriate. You need to verify if the pitch of that propeller is the recommended pitch according with the type of hull, according with the weight of the boat, according with the engine. There are a lot of parameters in relation with the pitch of the propeller. Check the manual of the boat, not the manual of the engine. In that case, it's the manual of the boat, and probably you need to call the manufacturer of the boat asking about what is the pitch of propeller recommended for this particular boat. The symptoms related with the exhaust gas recirculating valve. Once again, the symptoms are pretty similar in general. Misfiring and detonation, pure fuel economy, high level of nitrous and sulfur oxides, really similar to the oxygen sensor. Reduced acceleration, rush idle, all of them have the same. Frequent stalls and in idle, and knocking. Okay, we are going to check right now the symptoms. Once again, it's a pretty similar symptom than other sensors. Difficult start the engine, low fuel pressure, weak acceleration, engine stalling. Pretty similar symptom, no? Now we are going to check the signal. The codes. Those are the codes. And that code is exclusive for diesel. Those are the codes related with fuel pressure regulator. But don't forget the symptoms. The symptoms are important. Difficult start, low fuel pressure, weak acceleration. Alright? Those are the codes, and now we are going to check the signal. What is the signal related with the fuel pressure regulator? In diesel common rail, the valve will open when the pressure is according with the pressure inside. The rail rise about 32,000 psi and close again when the pressure drops below 7250 psi. That depends of the manufacturer. For that reason, in this particular pressure regulator, I recommend check your service manual, because in each gasoline engine, in each outboard, the pressure of the common rail is different, and I recommend follow the manufacturer recommendation. Those specifications are special for diesel, but in gasoline engines, I recommend check the parameters of the manufacturer in the service manual. Check the pressure recommended for the service manual. If the pressure is not according, replace the regulator. Don't try to fix it, because it's not possible. The solution is replace the pressure regulator. Okay, we are going to check the causes. The sensor is dirt, moisture in the connector, or unwanted circuit. That's possible, but normally it's dirt sensor, because the fuel is contaminated. And what is the solution? Clean the sensor with alcohol or ethanol. Be careful. In this particular case, in that pressure regulator sensor, you need to clean those sensors with ethanol, with alcohol. But never try to clean with the brake cleaner, because it's affect the valve. Alright, remove the sensor, check the fuel pressure, plus the tank, check the quality of the fuel. Normally, if the fuel is contaminated, if the fuel is mixed with water, you have immediately problems related with this sensor.